Welcome to another Down the Rabbit Hole video. Got the old Blade Runner glass out here because we're going to be trying another whiskey. Last one of these I tried was actually Lbael, which I had heard is very sophisticated and a bit of a hidden gem for people who really know their whiskeys. It's the good stuff, as they say. And I thought, well, since I'm always harping on about Johnnie Walker, I really should go to the opposite extreme and have some Johnnie Walker Red Label. It just makes sense. I know it's a brand or it's a label that has not got a good reputation. So what have I done here? Well, I've actually gone for a tiny little bottle of the stuff. There's a couple of reports I've heard about Red Label. It's the very, very common Johnnie Walker. I mean, I like Black Label, and most experts kind of agree. Black Label's got it's earned its reputation. It has a nice, very popular flavor, and it's well engineered for everybody to like. But Red Label, it really gets a bad reputation in a lot of circles. There's a gaming journalist guy, Michael Pachter. He's one of the, not a journalist, he's like a expert in the sort of investment field when it comes to video games. He has talked about whiskey on the podcast that he does, and he mentioned, don't drink Johnnie Walker Red Label. That stuff will make you blind. And funnier still, there was a guy I was watching on YouTube. His channel is The Whiskey Dictionary. I quite like his stuff. He goes into some nice detail. He really despises Red Label. In his video, he starts off holding up a bag, which he says, oh wait, no, that's a bag of literal garbage. We're here to try Johnnie Walker Red Label. Then he gets out some gasoline and says, oh wait, no, that's gasoline. We're actually going to try Johnnie Walker Red Label. His joke being, he thinks the stuff is disgusting and pretty much on par with literal garbage. So I'm intrigued. I do like my Black Label. I don't think I've ever had Red Label, and I just thought, well, I don't want to waste too much money on a full bottle of the stuff, even though it's not that expensive. So let's get this little airplane size one, pour it into the glass, and try it out. And as per usual, I'm just going to put a plate under here so that we get an idea of some of the color that comes out of here. Okay, that was a bit trickier than I expected, but let's pour this sucker in. Not terribly dark in color. Yeah, I think Black Label's got a little more of a caramel kind of a tint to it. Now, Whiskey Dictionary took one whiff of the stuff and he was saying it was burning as it went down his nostrils. So let me try it myself here. Well, I've given it a bit of a sniff. I don't really notice anything more than the other whiskeys I've had a sniff of. Let's try again here. It's very floral. I mean, it's actually not an unpleasant smell. I'm seeing some nice legs going down the side of the glass here, like there's some nice indication of liquid factor. All right, well, let's try out Johnnie Walker Red Label. Cheers. Oh boy, that'll definitely clear the sinuses. Yeah, there's a burn. It's a very spicy flavor, actually. Maybe that's what these whiskey experts are referring to as the burn. I don't think it's rough. Whiskey Dictionary and various others, I think the Whiskey Vault guys have said that the kind of intention of Red Label is you're supposed to mix it with like something else, like a Coca-Cola or something like that. So some kind of a soda. I think it's all right. Black Label has a much nicer taste. Same with Lbael. And all the others I've talked about, Highland Park, etc. But for something that has such a bad reputation, I don't think Red Label's that terrible. Then again, I will completely confess, I'm a complete amateur when it's coming to this whiskey stuff. I know very little on the subject, so perhaps I'm missing important things that real whiskey experts know better. I'll try another little drip here. It does go down pretty rough. I can sense it kind of hitting as it goes down the throat. So it's definitely a whiskey with a punch. But that's not too bad, really. Now, I have had enough people recommend put a little bit of water in the old whiskey, so just a couple of drops here just to see if that makes any difference. Okay, it's more than just a couple drops. Let's see if that makes any kind of a difference to the overall experience of Red Label. But for kind of the cheapest, quote-unquote, nastiest Johnnie Walker, I think it's all right. Again, I'm no expert, though. Let's see here. Has that livened it up? Has it explored some of the flavor a little bit more? I definitely wouldn't criticize it as being gasoline-like, like the Whiskey Dictionary guy did. Let's give this another little go here. Interesting. With the water, it definitely increases the smooth factor by a huge percentage. That is actually very drinkable. Very, I mean, it goes down much smoother now with quite a few drops of water in it. The flavor, obviously, is also quite diluted. You know what? It's all right. It's not as bad as people say, at least in my very humble opinion. I mean, as I say, it gets a bad reputation, but I'm actually not minding Red Label so much. Prefer black, and blue is, I have had blue. Blue is amazing, but for the price tag, I think you can get better whiskey experiences at that price tag. For the real entry-level Red Label, it's actually not too bad at all. And I have verified with some of these sources I've watched online. Some people have asked, is Black Label basically Red Label that's aged a little while? No, they are actually very different mixes of all the different blends of whiskey. Ralfy.com that I've talked about before, he actually took a bottle of Red Label that had been around, I think, since the 60s, and he tasted it on his channel, and he said it was actually, as the years go by, you do get a sort of smoothing out of the rough edges that Red Label had. He said it was very nice and not the same as Black Label. But this stuff, which is raw Red Label, it's all right. I think it's okay. I'm sure the experts out there have got a basis for their criticisms. I don't really know what I'm talking about when it comes to whiskey, but I know what I like, and this is not bad. Not great, but not bad. I will stick with the black. But if I was ever in a situation where only red was available, which ironically did happen this weekend, I think I will do that. All right, well, cheers, and until next time, we'll see you down the rabbit hole.